friend of mine called Daniel Pauly in Canada, he's just been here to Australia a few months ago, says that we have waged war on fish and we've won. In other words, we've used the most amazing equipment, sonar, you name it. And in Southeast Asia, even slavery on some of the fisher ships. And we've wiped out 90% of the large fish of the ocean. Extraordinary. Just to feed lots of people and to make money. Well, that's what Mike Fabinyi is going to talk about to some extent, not necessarily along the lines that I've just mentioned, but he's doing research broadly on the social and political aspects of marine resource use and the management of it in the Asia-Pacific region. In China, he studies the divers, the drivers, the trends, and the regional scale effects of seafood consumption. And his talk for you now is why is shark fin soup consumption declining? Mike Fabinyi.
Good evening, everyone. So I've been working for the last few years based out of Beijing in China. So I'm going to be talking to you about shark fin soup consumption over there. And it'll be a bit more of a good news story, hopefully, that will explore why it's actually become less popular in recent years. So China's economy has expanded hugely over the last 30 years, and the middle classes have become increasingly wealthy. So one effect of this has been a much larger consumer market for all sorts of different products that were previously inaccessible for most people. So one particular product that also became eaten much more than before was shark fin soup. So this is a dish that began many hundreds of years ago as part of banquets for emperors in China. And for a long time it was only eaten among a very, very small proportion of Chinese people. But with the expanding consumer market since the 1980s, more and more sharks began to be targeted and caught for their fins, which were eventually turned into soup. This has had really big impacts on the populations of sharks though. Sharks are now globally in decline, and there's several species that are listed as vulnerable or endangered. Shark fin soup isn't the only reason why sharks are caught and killed, of course, but it has been one of the major factors. Recently though, the popularity of shark fin soup has changed significantly. There's been a lot of research from academics in the media and so on, which has showed how consumption in China has really declined over the last 5 years or so in particular. Our own research at seafood markets and restaurants in Beijing showed how almost all of the restaurants and traders have witnessed really significant declines and losses. So why is shark fin soup becoming less popular? The first reason is because of the efforts of large numbers of environmentalists and environmental campaigns within China, in Hong Kong and outside of China, and they've all campaigned very heavily on the issue. So they've used celebrities such as film star Jackie Chan, ex-NBA basketball champion Yao Ming to promote the campaign against eating shark fin. So they've put these sorts of advertisements on television, billboards on subways, bus stations and at airports and so on. And they've been really, really effective at increasing awareness of the issue. Another reason behind the decline has been the role of the government in mainland China. So when the Xi Jinping administration came into office at the end of 2012, one of the main activities was an anti-corruption campaign. As part of this, lavish government banquets where most of the shark fin was eaten, these were specifically targeted, and the amount of money that government officials were allowed to spend on these banquets declined a lot. A great deal of the shark fin that was eaten came from these sorts of banquets, so this has had a really huge effect. The administration really wants to promote a message of strict adherence to the rules, and so this is Xi Jinping's message to his officials there on the screen there. Clean yourself up, basically. Later, at the end of 2013, the government went further and specifically banned eating shark fin soup in these banquets. A third big reason why the demand for shark fin has declined a lot is perhaps a bit more unusual. So as the demand grew, restaurants and traders began to be more involved in selling fake shark fin or synthetic shark fin made from gelatin and other products. There are a few high-profile exposés about this done by investigative reporters. These became extremely well publicised throughout the country, and so Chinese consumers began to be really wary and distrustful about eating shark fin. Trust in the food system in China more broadly is extremely low at the moment, so there's been many sorts of food safety scandals and problems that have taken place, the most famous one being the Melliman milk scandal of 2008. So these are a few different sorts of reasons why shark fin soup consumption has been declining. What's interesting is that it isn't necessarily just for the most obvious reasons perhaps, such as the activities of environmental campaigns. While environmental campaigns have been really important in increasing awareness of the issues involved in shark fin soup, there's also been other factors related more to domestic Chinese social and political processes that have also really reduced the popularity of shark fin soup. So I think it'll be really fascinating to see how these trends play out over the next few years. Thank you very much.